And I think we're gathered here today because we're all expressing our sense of frustration, because we're also expressing our sense of grief, our sense of desire, and our wanting for truth, transparency, and justice to be upheld. Clap, please. Now, I'd like to particularly welcome the participation of so many elected representatives at this dinner. I'd like to say a special welcome to Auntie Berse. Because Auntie Berse represents in each and every one of us that desire for change and that quest for justice. And that's why we're here today. And we're even more angered at what happened to Mr. William Bourdon. Now, I'm not going to be multilingual like my colleague, Dr. Kwa. So I'll speak in English, and I'll tell you one of the very dramatic events that took place this morning in how Mr. Bourdon was very unceremoniously kicked out of our country. He is right now in KLIA, as you heard, awaiting his flight at 11:30 p.m. to be sent back to Paris. And this would not have been so if he did not actually make the changes on his own and did not pay for the difference in ticket prices, which was a lot. Because the recommendation and solution of the police and the immigration department to them was, you have no choice because your ticket to go back was only on the 24th. So we'll keep you in detention for 3 days. So Mr. Bourdon, being the fighter and the human rights lawyer that he is, said, absolutely not. You're not going to dictate the terms for me. I'm going to decide on my own and I'm going to go back. So can you imagine Malaysian authorities detaining a renowned French legal personality who is known around the world for 3 days? Now the action in detaining him is even more arbitrary because just as the plane landed from Penang in KLIA at 11:40 this morning, now I had the privilege or lack of privilege or the whole advantage of actually traveling with Mr. William Bourdon and his wife on the same flight. So when we landed in KLIA, before any of us could disembark, suddenly 3 immigration officials barged into the plane, walked up to him and said, follow me. And that was how he was detained. He didn't even get a chance to walk out of the plane. They came into the plane to detain him. And we walked very quickly to the holding center that they were going to hold him, and they stopped me and his wife from actually following him into the room. They stopped me much earlier before I could even enter the immigration gate, and he said, "Jangan masuk, jangan masuk, jangan kacau." The wife managed to push through the immigration, but she was held back, and Mr. Bourdon has been detained from 11:40 up to now, up to the time that he takes his flight back to Paris. Is this the kind of Malaysian hospitality that we show? Well, obviously our Malaysian government and immigration officials think that this is the way to treat a very famous personality. And one begs to answer the question, why did they take such arbitrary action? Do they have something to hide? Very much, I think. And I will leave this question to the next few speakers who will actually unravel the mystery behind the submarine scandal. I think many of you have already read Malaysia Kini, have read the updates, and have actually read details of the case. And Mr. Bourdon is going to be in Malaysia to actually speak to us about the updates, about the status development and so on. And we're very, very lucky because yesterday night in Penang, we managed to have him speak without much harassment. And today you're going to be seeing him on video. So he's not totally gone. He's here with us. And he has left a note. He has left a note for me to actually read to all of you tonight. And the note, hold on. The note actually suggests okay, apologies, sorry, I was just looking for the message. Mr. William Bourdon, apart from being arbitrarily held, was also asked to sign deportation papers in Malay. Do you think Mr. William Bourdon understands any Malay? No. So what he did was he signed a protest note in English. He signed a protest note in English and he said that he does not fathom, he does not understand the reasons for his detention because there has been no real concrete reason given for his deportation order. He was just asked questions about the case and about his representation of Suaram. So he has reiterated that in his professional capacity as a lawyer, he has come to answer questions on the legal case. And he also wanted to tell you that he is an expensive lawyer. And that is why we're all here today. Because this campaign is no longer a Suaram campaign. After what happened today, this campaign belongs to everybody in this room. And each and every one of us have a role to play in determining the truth and in ensuring that this case is pursued to the end. Whether William Bourdon gets a chance to come back to Malaysia or not will not stop this case from being pursued. And that is very, very important. Now I'd just like to extend gratitude to all of you in this context because Suaram had actually set a very humble target of raising 100,000 ringgit for the fundraising events that we had held earlier. But in Penang alone, yesterday, we netted almost 100,000. Here, guess how much we raised? Okay, I'll tell you. We raised close to 150,000. People and KL people still win. And in Ipoh, in the forum tomorrow, we will find out how much Ipohites are going to contribute to the cause. But by saying this is not enough. Because yesterday, Mr. William Bourdon told us that translation fees alone for the instruction judge to begin the case in the open court will cost Euro 20K. How much is that in Malaysian ringgit? About RM 90,000? So whatever we raise in Penang, just habis with translation. So this means, the message is, we're just starting. Because we also have to deal with the currency issue. And this is just a startup fund. Remember, this campaign is yours. It's a Malaysian campaign, so you need to continuously contribute generously. Can I have a clap on that?